Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. When the five yamas and niyamas are practiced and we are no more allowing any excuses, vitarkas, to disturb the practice of these yama niyamas, then pratipaksha bhavana hetuho heyaha vitarkaha यदा अस्य स्युः अप्रसव धर्माणः तदा तत्कृतम् ऐश्वर्यं योगिनः सिद्धि सूचकं भवति. Then the result of practice of these yama niyamas lead to demonstration of unfolding of the divine capabilities in the seeker. And we are studying that in the 37th Sutra. Now we will take the firm abidance in the asteya, what it leads to. Asteya pratisthayam sarvaratnopasthanam. Asteya pratisthayam, when we are established in the asteya, then sarvaratna upasthanam, all the jewels and diamonds and everything is available to us. Now here, ratnopasthanam, ratna, the jewels, the diamonds, this is explained. Sarvadiksthani Ratnani, Ramate Atra iti Ratnam. Where we revel is called as Ratna. And Sarvadiksthani, in all the places, in all the direction, at all the times. Ratnani, Ratnani Jatau Jatau Utkrushta Vastuni. Ratna means what? Ratna means the best in a group is called as the Ratna of that group. Like, for example, students appear for the 10th standard. So when we say the merit list, so the students who come in the merit list, they are called as the Ratna, the best in the whole lot. So Ratnani means what? Wherever this seeker goes, the best things available in that place and that time are made available to him. They approach him without any efforts. And therefore, here, Sarvadiksthani asya upatishtante ratnani asya yoginaha. For this yogi, all these things are upatishtante sevante. Tad antikam agatya pratikshante. They come near him and wait. See, I remember, I don't know if I told you, I was in Delhi those days. And one of, the devotees wrote to our Swamiji that, Swamiji, we should give a transport to me so that I can run around and conduct the classes. Because in Delhi, going by buses or taxis or three-wheeler is a really torture. So in reply to that, Swami's letter came, not to me, to the same person who wrote. Very big no. First. Second, do I have the car? He didn't have a car. Over. Third, You don't worry about him. Cars will come and wait for him. You don't worry about him. And see, the Sankalpa Siddhi of the great Mahatmas, never had there been a time when this transport problem has bothered. So, when the teacher tells here, Sarva Ratnopasthanam, means whatever is best available in that will be pratikshante. They are waiting upon. And what is the thing? Asteya pratisthayam. Asteya, we have seen not only the theft, but also even by thought, spruha, that I should have this, I should have that, even that is not there. And as a result, everything is available to him in this world. On the basis of this alone, the Mahatmas move in this world without taking anything anywhere. Now, Asteya, then comes the Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya pratisthayam virya labha. Yasya labhat apratighan gunan utkarshayati. Siddhascha vinayeshu jnanam adhatum samartho bhavati. How beautiful it is. He says, Asya labhat. Asya labhat, that means virya labhat. When one practices brahmacharya, absolute celibacy, no compromise whatsoever. When this is practiced, Asya labhat, brahmacharya labhat, virya labha, and virya labhat, apratighan gunan utkarshayati. Gunan utkarshayati. Apratighan, without any obstacles, all the divine qualities start growing in that seeker. It is called as the Brahma Tej. So, apratighan, pratighata varjitan, labhan, gunan. Which are those gunas? These are the two, Jnana Shakti and the Kriya Shakti. These become extremely obvious in such a Mahatma, in such a yogi. So what are those things? First is Kriya Shakti and then Jnana Shakti will take. Kriya Shakti means what? His undertakings become an asset to himself and to others. Whatever work he takes, all kinds of support comes for his work. Virya labhat is one. And second thing, Jnana Shakti. He is not only able to study, understand everything, but also, see, Siddhacha Vinayeshu Jnanam Adhatum Samartho Bhavati. So, he is not only able to have these various powers like Animadi, Siddhis, but also Siddhascha, when Brahmacharya becomes Pratishthit, then Vinayeshu Shishyeshu Jnanam Adhatum Samartho Bhavati. Then he is able to transfer the knowledge to the disciples. See, we can tell and talk to the disciples or to others, but it will have zero impact if our spiritual practice is lacking. That is why it comes, there are many people who are very well read as regard their study is concerned, as their understanding is concerned, very good. But somehow or the other, their words do not carry any impact. So here is another reason. Therefore, Brahmacharya Pratisthayam Virya Labha. Virya Labhat Gunan Utkarshayati, Kriya and Jnana Shakti increases. And Siddhascha, and he who is now established in this Brahmacharya Vratam, then Vinayeshu Shishyeshu Jnanam Adhatum, can transfer the knowledge very easily without any difficulty. When such a Mahatma teaches, tells, it goes directly inside. There is no any obstacle of any kind. Therefore, samartho bhavati. Then, so we have completed asteya, brahmacharya. Now the last in this yama sadhana. Aparigraha sthairye janma kathanta sambodha asya bhavati saha ko aham asam katham aham asam kinsvid idam katham svid idam ke va bhavishyamaha katham va bhavishyamaha idi evam asya purvantar parant madhyeshu atma bhava jijnasa sarupena upavartate eta yamasthaire siddhayaha. These are the siddhis together about all the yamas. Now what happens with the aparigraha sthaire? Aparigraha sthaire means the non-accumulation of the things is called as aparigraha. There are Mahatmas who take vows like this, particularly with reference to this aparigraha, that they do not keep anything for the next day. So when they go to sleep, wherever they are, everything is given up except what is on their body. And the next day the Lord will take care. So aparigraha. And by this, one is able to develop many faculties, and this is one. So what are the faculties? Janma kathanta sambodha, about the whole life. Janma kathanta, why and how and where about the life. Janma kathan. Kathanta like asmita, like kathanta. So everything about life is revealed to such a yogi. What are everything? So asya bhavati idam sutrena koham asam, who was I in the last life, and katham aham asam, and how I am born in this life, and in this manner about the present life, about the future life, everything he is able to know. Similarly, kinsvid idam, this particular life is to me as a result of which karmas which I have done in the last life, that he is able to know. Katham svid idam, now what is the present life, how long am I going to live, what is going to happen to me, how am I going to leave the body, everything is known to them, because aparigraha sthairye. You know, in the life of our Udiya Baba, one event I'll tell you, he was an Avadhuta, also an Acharya, very rare combination. He was never getting angry with anybody on any issue. That was his rule. And in his ashram in Vrindavan, so many people will come to this, that, he will never get disturbed. You can see his quietness to an extent. The satsang, where the satsang is to be there, suppose some cows come and does the job and goes, he will not get disturbed. You can imagine the quietness that he had. Never he will get disturbed. And one day, somebody asked him that, Baba, why don't you, scold people? Because of your quietness, people are taking you for a ride. So for their benefit you should scold. He said, I don't get anger. Why should I scold? And this place, they think it is there. Therefore they are so much attached. I don't think it is mine. So let them. If somebody has to go from here, I'll go. Very clear. And then he one day told, if I get angry, that will be the last day of my life. Now tell me, do you want me to get angry? He said, no, don't get angry. And it so happened, one of his very, devoted devotee, little crazy kind, some kind of little water spilling was there, and that day he became angry with that devotee. Why don't you clean these dirty people? Do you want to clean it only after blood is spilt over here? If this is not dirty, then what is dirty? Only this much he said. And the same evening, in the same place, by the same person, this Udaya Baba was slaughtered. So he knew. And that day he asked that, Baba, if you die, who will take care of me? Don't worry, you will immediately follow me. You will not leave after I go from here. So, there was small little tussle. This is how you know the life of the Mahatmas is very miserable. We don't know that. Because everybody becomes possessive, and then they start having competition, jealousy, politics, and somebody is dear, somebody is not dear, and kinds of all imaginations, frustration, anger, their mutual rivalry, all these things come up. So one person was fanning him when he was sitting in the satsang, simply sitting, and somebody was conducting satsang, Mahatmaji was sitting. So that man came, he said, I want to fan, you go away. No, I will do, you go away. Such a silly thing. So he went back and got a very big dao, pushed that man aside. Instead of hitting that man, he pushed that man aside. And when Baba was sitting like this, right in the head, he hit 3 times, with that big dao. And there he died. So naturally, when this happened, will the other people simply watch or what? He was also killed on the spot. Therefore, aparigrahasthaire, he did not have anything in his life. Janma kadhanta sambodha, everything about one's life, about lives of others becomes evident to him. Now what could be the reason? I was just thinking on this sutra. What could be the reason? The reason could be why we are not able to sleep. Because we are not able to drop something from our waking experience. And anything from the waking experience we are not able to drop, we cannot go to sleep. That's the only reason why we can't sleep. Something somewhere is a problem. Now imagine by this aparigraha, he who has dropped everything, means what? He is in the exclusive presence. He is not carrying any trace of the past load. Not only physical possessions, but even the memories. Nothing he carries. So what happens? Therefore, he is not conditioned by time. How we are conditioned by time? We are conditioned by time by carrying the load of the memories. And he who has aparigraha, given up everything. See, giving up the gross thing is not a big issue. Like, now, I have given up, eating non-vegetarian. Then I have given up onion and garlic. See? This is okay. In KG1, KG2, this is what we talk. But this is not all in life. What is really worthy of giving up is the load of memory that we carry on our mind. And when in this manner we become firm in this aparigraha, we start living only in the absolute presence, and as a result, there is no hurdle for this consciousness to peep into the past, present and future, not with reference to himself, but with reference to anybody. This is how, when we hear in the stories of the great Siddha Purushas, we feel, oh, these people are simply telling something. No, it happens. Therefore, how this life, how we have come in this life, what is our next life, and what we are going to be, where we will be born. In this manner, evam asya yoginaha purvanta paranta madhyascha iti purva paranta madhyaha bhuta bhavishya vartamana kalaha teshu. About this atma bhava jidnyasa, atmana bhava tasmin jidnyasa iti. So, he only has to intensely apply his mind. Who was I in the last life? Who was I before that? And only by that he can go on peeping back in the past and also in the future. That is why Mahatmas, when they tell, they do not tell out of imagination or struggle, but everything comes in front of them like the X-ray machine sees all the bones without the obstacle of your clothes or anything else. So, etaha siddhayaha yama siddhyarte or sthaire. So these are the siddhis with reference to the firm abidance in these ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya and aparigraha, 5 of them. Now niyameshu vakshamaha. Now we shall tell you about the siddhis which come as a result of the niyama sadhana or the firm abidance in the niyamas. Now please remember, these siddhis are the byproducts. They are not the purpose. This is where our Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to tell that you should never get carried away by this, otherwise we get caught up there. Then again, by the time that siddhi which is manifesting because of one particular sadhana, if that becomes weakened, again the siddhi disappears. Therefore, these are only the dormant potentialities in every one of us which surface as a result of the purification process. Now, the niyama. First is shaucha. Shaucha swanga jugupsa paraihi asamsargaha. Shauchat means by the sthairya, by the firm abidance in the shaucha niyama. So, shauchat swasya ange iti swange jugupsayam shaucham arabhamanaha yatihi kayavadya darshi tatha kayeshu anabhishwangi iti kaya anabhishwangi bhavati. He is every day practicing all the cleaning processes of the body, and in the cleaning process of the body, he becomes aware that out of this body, nothing worthy of talking in the public comes out. This is an abode of all the filth and dirt. See? As a result, our attraction and body identification, he is never taken as a great thing, no. So the purpose of shaucha sadhana is to come to this knowledge that the body with which we move in this world, the body with which we exist as an arrogant individual in this world, this body is nothing but a mobile storage of filth and dirt. So, saucha swanga jugupsa. Now here, this thing has to be understood. We have seen this in our Sadachar. Atyanta malino dehaha, dehi chatyanta nirmalaha, asangohamiti jnatva, shauchametat prachakshate. See? Atyanta malinaha dehaha. The body is atyanta malina, full of filth. And dehi, the embodied, is nirmalaha. And that nirmala dehi, embodied, asangaha, unattached to the body. And that is my real identity. This understanding is called as shaucha. And to come to this understanding, when we practice the shaucha sadhana, this kind of understanding should grow in us. So, Swange jugupsayam shaucham arabhamanaha, then he who starts practicing this shaucha sadhana. Now what is the shaucha sadhana? Shaucha sadhana is getting up in the morning, early morning, then going to the toilet, then brushing, taking bath every day, cutting the nail properly, and seeing that the body is clean sufficiently, and it doesn't emit fragrance. You know, there are people who have, by their constitution, they emit very offensive odor. Very bad. Now, if somebody has that problem, then one must take proper care. Otherwise, you go nearer to some people and you just can't stand there even for 2 seconds. It's so awful. Because the body is emitting only all dirt. So in this manner, when we keep on practicing the shaucha sadhana, one becomes more and more aware about the filthiness of the body. So, Satijati, Kaya Vadya Darshi, that Kaya is Avadya. Kaya Avadya means it has got all the shortcomings, dosha. Such a person, Kayeshu Anabhishwangi Bhavati. He can never be attached to the body-oriented lifestyle thereafter. Kayeshu Anabhishwangi, no more attached to the body. And the moment our attachment to our body disappears, 99% spiritual practice is done. We have taken a big leap. Then only we can really jump into the darkness of the unknown. It is very easy for us to condemn these terrorists, suicide bombers. But unless they are convinced that there is something beyond the body existence, they will never do that. Therefore, one of the most important things in the spiritual practice is that we live in the body, but we must grow out of the body identification. And that can happen only when we have discovered the dosha, the shortcomings, the impurities that the body is. Now, this disgust to the body identification, it is not a siddhi. See? Like we have seen earlier that aparigraha sthairye janma kathanta sambodaha. In this manner, there is no siddhi to have disgust about the body. Then what happens? Once we are no more attached to the body, naturally all the problems related to the waking world are taken care of. Because the waking world has a meaningful existence only when we are identified with the body. And therefore, the less we are identified with the body, lesser will be the involvement in the waking world, gross world, and lesser is the involvement, lesser will be the disturbances in the mind, and with those lesser disturbances, there will be lesser problem of the single pointedness of the mind. And as a result, we will become ekagra chitta bhumika one, and thereafter our sampradnyat, the apara vairagya will take place, and then by that viveka khyati, sampradnyat, yoga, the ultimate will come. And therefore this, although it is not the siddhi, etc., yet this is valued extremely. Therefore, swanga jugupsa has to be taken as a very good thing, because by this alone we can grow ahead. Then, paraihi asamsargaha, asambandaha. Then one is no more, when you are not attracted, identified with your own body, you can no more be attracted, identified with any body. Paraihi asamsargaha. And as a result, what will happen? Kayasya svabhava avalokate. So he will start observing the svabhava, the nature of the body. So kaya svabhava loki, he will start thinking in this manner. Swam kayam jihasuhu hatumichuhu kayasya avadya sanyuktatvad parityaktup kamaha. When he is disgusted with the dirt load that he carries as his body, will he ever be attracted, attached to any other body? And therefore, he will start, this body, mrujjaladibihi akshalayan api kayasya shuddhim apashyan. So although I am every day washing, cleaning the body, and yet the body is every day giving a fresh lot of dirt and filth. So we know how much clean we keep our body. And the other people, those who even do not take regular bath, and then therefore katham parakayaihi, katham bhutaihi, evam aprayataihi. So neither they take regular bath, nor there is regular brush going on, nor their body is clean and neat. So about those bodies, how can this yogi be ever attracted? Therefore, parakayi atyantam eva aprayataihi samsrujet katham, how will he ever come in the contact or proximity with these people? Therefore, chaucha parasya mama kayo na shuddhati kimatu pramatta parakayaha iti dosha darshinaha parakarya asamsargaha bhavati ityartaha. So he who is disgusted with his own dirtiness of the body in spite of keeping it clean so much, and those who don't take even the regular cleaning things, how can he ever be attracted? So this shaucha, now this is the bahya shaucham only we have seen. And this is one of the reasons that those people who are cleanliness oriented, they will never get involved with everybody all the time, because they themselves are disgusted with the dirt. And where from the dirt comes? It comes from their own body. This is how this shaucha siddhi helps us in two levels. First is our identification with the body comes to minimum, and the second thing, our involvement with other people also is reduced to a great extent. Now, this was the external cleanliness. Now, the abhyantara shaucham, about this it is said, sattva shuddhihi saumanasya ekagrya indriya jaya Atma Darshana Yogyattvani cha. So, when this Antarshuddhi, now we are taking the Antarshuddhi. In this Antarshuddhi, what is done? Shuchehe Sattva Shuddhis tataha. So, with reference to the Shaucha, and we are talking about Sattva Shuddhi. Sattva Shuddhi is the purification of the antakaran, of the mind, of the chitta. Please remember, these words are used in a particular reference, in a particular context. You cannot take them in general. Many times, this sattva is referred to the antakaran. And many times this Atma is also referred to the Antakaran. Therefore, Uddhared Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu. So here Atma means our own mind. Similarly, here also Sattva Shuddhi. Dhatu Prasadat Mahimanam Atmanaha. Their Dhatu is the Antakaran. So, Sattva Shuddhi. Shuchehe Sattva Shuddhihi. How do we do this purification of the Antakaran? We have seen by the proper interaction with the world. So, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. These are the four methods by which we can really purify our heart. The first is Maitri, being friendly with good people. So, our friend circle must be a chosen one. The second thing is Karuna. We must not become the social workers. If whatever you want to help somebody, help and get out. Don't carry that load of pity and compassion for the whole world and remain disgusting. No. Third, Mudita. Let us learn to be happy in the happiness of everyone. So when you are in the company of the happy people, you also feel great about it. This is how the mind becomes pure. And in this world there will be bad people. So we are not in this world to improve the whole world. Just delete. Don't carry the load on your mind. In short, taking care about the contents of our mind is very, very essential. So, when this way we do Sattva Shuddhihi, Kshalita Chittamalasya Sattva Shuddhihi Sattvodrekaha Bhavati. So, for such a person, Sattva Udrekaha Bhavati, he becomes predominantly Sattvic. His mind becomes more and more Sattva Guna Pradhan. And when the mind is extremely Sattva Guna Pradhan, where he has come? He has come to the Chitta Ekagra Bhumika. And when the Chitta Ekagra Bhumika is reached, then alone he can have the Sampradnyat Samadhi, not otherwise. So, of such a person, when Sattva Udreka takes place, Tataha, thereafter, Saumanasya. Now here is one by one effects of inner purity. First, Saumanasya, the Manaprasadaha. You are always cheerful. See? Cheerfulness is possible only if your mind is pure. An impure minded person can never be cheerful. And a cheerfulness is not only like the makeup. We apply so many things so that, we are presentable. No. This prasannata should be a natural experience of our own being. And when it is not there, then, like the Western approach, all the time, high. Then high is not prasannata. So, first, manasaha prasadaha saumanasyam. Then tataha ekagram. Now see the next thing. When your mind is cheerful, then only you can apply your mind to any given job. A frustrated person cannot sit for meditation. If he sits, he will do frustration, not meditation. How was the meditation? No, I was not doing meditation. Then I was frustration. Okay? Therefore, as I have been always emphasizing, highest spiritual practice is remain cheerful. I have never bothered you about anything. How do you know? Whether you are doing your japa or not. What is most important is remain cheerful in life. When your mind will remain cheerful, you will be able to practice your meditation, everything very easily. Cheerful person has already attained apara vairagya. Because now world is no more disturbing him. And when we are carrying the load of these kind of worldly things, we will never be able to cheerful. All the time tense and biting one's own teeth, or if the teeth are grinded, then the nail, our own or somebody else's? No. It's very important. We lead a relaxed, cheerful, happy life. You know, when we are relaxed, cheerful and happy, what happens? One very important thing. We participate in whatever event that is going on. Very important. For example, you are in a group where some bhajan kirtan is going on. And you are preoccupied with something. Either your position, or you are evaluating, or you are seeing how the people are, or something is bugging you. When I was coming in my room, my partner did like this, and now here I have to go and show them. See the load. With that kind of load, when we go anywhere, we cannot participate wholeheartedly. See? Very important. Therefore, he who is manaprasada saumanasya, then ekagram, mind becomes fully available for anything. As a result, tataha indriya jayaha. And then indriya jaya. All our faculties are under our control. So, all the senses will behave the way we dictate them. Indriya jayaha. And then tatascha atma darshana yogyatvam. And then we will be qualified to the viveka khyati. Here atma darshana yogyatvam means the viveka khyati. So, yogyatvam, the capability. We will become capable of viveka khyati. Viveka khyati will not come just like that. Therefore, shaucham has to be given utmost importance in our spiritual life. External as well as internal. And there is no kind of, funny thing that, I believe only in the purity of the mind and therefore the body is horrible. No, both are equally important. Narayana. So, Atma Darshana Yogyatvam, then Buddhisatvasya Bhavati. This is how the Antakaran becomes qualified for the Sampradnyat Samadhi. In this manner, iti etat Shauchasthairyan Dvividha Adhigamyate iti. So these are the two aspects of this Shauchasthairya. One is external. What are the external? Our body identification is reduced. Our involvement with other people at body level is reduced. As a result, the gross world is no more a big load, a big issue for us. And as a result, the mind starts remaining quieter and quieter. See? In the deep sleep, when we are not identified with the gross body, isn't our mind very calm and quiet? So how many times we must discuss this topic? And therefore it doesn't make any impact. We know this thing. The moment you start, we know what is the next word that is coming. See? And yet we are unable to do, goes on. That is why, there are people who become professional satsangi. I was in Delhi, and one place where this satsang I used to take, for 2 weeks, 10-12 days I had, taught there Mundaka Upanishad. And a big hall, and in between some pillars. So the pillars were reserved by some professional satsangi. And one day somebody, new fellow came and that pillar was free. So people want, the pillar behind, because they are all the devotees of Narasimha Bhagwan. So they'll go, she went and sat there. And then the professional satsangi, she came. The satsang is going on. Hey, Ut, get up from here. That is my place. Why are you sitting? So she said, why will I get up? If it is your place, you should have come earlier. You come later, or is it reservation or what? I will not get up. You will not get up? How will you not get up? When you have come only today, I am coming in this temple for last 30 years, I am the founder stone. Now tell me, what is the use of all this satsang that is going on? That is why I know it's so important that our attention is on the purification of the body, purification of the mind, and as a result, we slowly grow. And this is the only way we can drop this gross world. Otherwise, the same thing will keep on coming in the mind again and again and again and again. After this is done, now the next niyama is the santosh. Santoshat anuttama sukhalabha yaccha kama sukham loke yaccha divyam mahat sukham trushnakshaya sukhasyeti narhata shodashim kalam. Here, anuttama sukhalabha, santoshat. When one practices santosha, santosha means santosha is vitarka anupattau. When we are no more able to argue, think, project, imagine about whatever we have got in life. So, anything that we get in life is alambhavaha. It can't be better than this. When this becomes our mind's natural interaction with the life, we are somewhere near santosh or contentment. And when this happens, then anuttama sukhalabha, there is no better attainment than this. This is the highest bliss. This is the ananta sukha. Because there are no desires. There is nothing that we want to improve upon. There is nothing we want to improve upon. He is no more getting involved with what he has or what he doesn't have. So, in our Taittiriya Upanishad also it comes, ते ये शतम प्रजापतेर आनंदाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनंदः श्रोत्रियस्य च अकामहतस्य इति. Akamahata, the one who is not killed by the fire of desire. What happiness he has is unparalleled. We are read it. It goes on increasing, and prajapatehe ye anandaha sa eko brahmana anandaha. So, the happiness of any kind of this world or other world. Then also he quotes that this Yayati who gives his yavana, his youthfulness to his father Puru, that time also he says, Ya dustaja durmatir bhirya na jiryati jiryatam tam trushnam santyajan raja prajnyaha sukhe naiva vipuryate. Hey Rajan, O father, this trishna, the desire, can never be fulfilled in this world. Only thing what we can do is grow out of it. And therefore, loke yaccha kama sukham, kamya vishaya prapti janitam yat sukham. So, what is kama sukham? Kama sukham is one example, explanation he has given. That sukham, when we want some object and we get it and we enjoy it, that is kama sukham. Second is the kama sukham when the rati sukham, when two persons revel in each other, that is called as kama sukham. So, yaccha divyam mahat sukham, and also the happiness that can be imagined in the heavens. We have already defined heaven for you number of times. Heaven is that where the 6 problems are absent. There is no problem of old age and death. There is no problem of hunger and thirst. And there is no problem of shoka and moha, the delusion and the grief. That is the divya. Even they are nothing in comparison to the santosha. So, Trishna kshaya sukhasya, Trishnayaha kshayaha iti Trishna kshayaha, saha eva sukham iti tatoktasya. So he who has come to this conclusion, the real happiness is the happiness of non-desireness. Very important. And when you have no desires, you cannot be miserable. In the language of devotion, you know what is said? Misery is going contrary to the divine will is called as misery. So whatever is happening in our life is the divine will. But what we want is not what is happening. We want it to go the other way around. So we are going contrary to the divine will, and as a result we become miserable. And if we go one step further, we don't desire at all. The immediate impact will be anuttama sukhalabhaha. So he who has thus given up this worldly and otherworldly longing for the enjoyments, what happens? For him, Shodashim kalam na arhataha. His happiness cannot be even compared with 1/16 of all happiness gained by everybody. It is so anuttama, unparalleled. Therefore, this santosha is very, very important. And once we have understood the importance of this santosha, you know how the santosha can be recognized as important. Whenever we are not content, we are disturbed. See how simple it is. One day, one person has asked me this question. Swamiji, you people are giving lectures so many years and all that, and people don't change, they are the same, useless. Don't you feel disgusted? I said, yes, we will feel disgusted if we want the people to change. We don't want them to change. See? All problems gone. But if we have this notion that someone should change because of us, we are inviting disgust in our life. That is why Mahatmas are never depressed, dejected. Why depression, dejection comes? If we have any expectation from anybody on any count, and if Santosh is there, wonderful. You do 100 times mistakes, never mind. Next time you will be all right. See how important it is. Therefore, contentment, Santosha is highest achievement in life. And then people will start instigating. It is because of this philosophy only India has remained backward. On that also we don't have to react. Yes, what you tell is right. Why? What is the use of hitting your head against the wall? We don't have to argue, we don't have to justify, we don't have to prove. The bottom line is, the one who becomes miserable because of anybody is the fool. And how we become miserable? Because we have hopes, expectation. We are not content with what we have or what the other person has. Again about our Swami Akhandanji, I will tell you, his guru was this Udiya Baba, Purnananda Tirtha. And Akhandanji Maharaj used to, right from his childhood, be in the company of many Mahatmas. And so many places, so many Mahatmas, Satsang he has done. And ultimately in Udiya Baba he had that Guru Buddhi, and then he had, surrendered him as his disciple. He writes, what attracted me in Udiya Baba is not that other Mahatmas were not great, they were great, but what attracted me in him was, he never wanted anybody to change. He has accepted everybody as they are. Meaning, the santosh, the contentment was 100% perfect. And when you accept everything as it is, then you have zero desire level. When there is no desire, you cannot be disturbed. And then you can accept everything as it is. And accepting everything as it is nothing but Parabrahma Paramatma. See? Nirdosham hi samam Brahma tasmati Brahmani sthitaha. Paramatma accepts everything as it is. Therefore, this santosha is a step which is taking us nearer to our own self. Now, anuttama sukhalavaha. Now, continuing further, is the tapas. What is the tapas and what is the gain when we practice tapasya? Kayendriya shuddhihi, Kayendriya siddhihi, ashuddhi kshayat, tapasaha. Kayendriya siddhihi, Kaya and the Indriya, siddhihi. So, निर्वर्त्यमानम एव तपः हिनस्ति अशुद्धि आवरण मलम तद आवरण मल अपगमात् काय सिद्धि अनिमाद्यः तथा इंद्रिय सिद्धि दूरात् श्रवण दर्शनता दर्शन आदि इति. Here निर्वर्त्यमाना एव तपः निश्शेषेण क्रियमाणम निष्पाद्यमानम. When one has practiced the tapasya according to the perfect rules and regulations, not torturing the body. Torturing body is not tapasya. That day I told you the two principles of tapasya. One principle is the discovery of freedom from dependence on things and beings. That is tapasya. Many times, these people come for the camps and you cannot get the comfort that you get in your own personal house. When you stay in a communion, you have to sacrifice many things. And if that is taken as a sadhana, they will be very happy. And what is the sadhana? Sadhana is leaving these wrong notions that we cannot live without somebody or something. It is wrong totally. So, this is one aspect, and the second aspect is discovering the self-confidence. We can, it is not that we cannot. So, this is the technical performance of tapas in life. Therefore, tapasaha, when this tapasya is practiced properly, then what happens as a result? Ashuddhi avaran malam. Ashuddhi avaran malam is ashuddhi eva avaranam tadeva malaha tam tathoktam adharmadi ashuddhi. So ashuddhi avarana malam. Ashuddhi means what? Impurity. What are the impurities? Impurities are at many, many levels. First impurity is, if we take care of this, most of the problems are solved. And what is the first impurity? Is notions that we have about ourselves, about the world, and about God. Na karmana na prajaya dhane na tyage naike amritatvamanasu. So tyage naike, the wrong notions that we are carrying on our head, they are to be rejected. Extremely important. So, ashuddhi avaranamalam. Now the second impurity that we are all carrying with us is determining ourselves to be someone special than others. This is another very important spiritual practice. We must not start living our life in such a manner that we are someone special than others. No. We have to give up all the speciality. If we create speciality out of our spiritual practice, then we are no more spiritual seekers. And for that, we have to merge with the totality. And when you merge with the totality, it is painful. It is not so simple. Because once we went somewhere in our this Badri Kedar trips, and in one place where we were supposed to be given place to stay, everything was done properly, and that ashram people, from that time onward I stopped going to ashramas. We go only to the guest houses and finish the whole mess. So when we went to that ashram, the things were not up to the mark according to the standard of some people. And then that created such a commotion and all that. I said, it's okay, how much we have to stay only for one night, and tomorrow after bath we'll go, so don't worry about small things. No, Swami, because of this attitude, these people take us for a ride. They must be set right. I will go and talk to. I said, don't go do that. No, Swamiji, you don't worry. We are not telling you. We will go and talk. And then I said, Ram. Is this the purpose we have come for in this world? When we go to the Satsang or when we go to the pilgrimages, is it to set right the things there? No. Because of that individuality, I. Therefore, the second impurity that we carry, we want ourselves to be someone specially recognized. So, when we do tapasya, we are ready to undergo all the difficulties. And when we undergo all the difficulties, nothing can create a special status for us. So, ashuddhi avaranamalam is removed. Now, as a result, removed hinasti nashayati, then tad avaran mala apagamat, and when these wrong notions are rejected, so wrong notions about ourselves, wrong notion about our spiritual practice, wrong notion about our relationship with the world, wrong notions about our expectations, all things are slowly hinasti removed, and as a result, one, a kaya siddhi animadya, the first thing, what happens at the gross body level and at a subtle body level. So at the level of the gross body, what happens? Kaya siddhi animadya. So, the kaya siddhis take place, such as anima, garima, lagima, mahima. So these are the four kaya siddhis with reference to the gross body. So one is able to assume a very small form. One is able to be very light as the wind. One is able to be very heavy as the earth. All these siddhis are possible when one has gone through the tapasya. And the second thing is tatha, the subtle level. Duraj Shravana Darshanadya Indriya Siddhi. Second becomes the Indriya Siddhi. One is able to hear from long distances, see what is far away, which cannot be seen by the normal eyes. What is happening in the minds of others? What are their personal identities? Everything is recognized by the one who has practiced this tapas as his spiritual practice. Now, after this is done, then the next one is Swadhyaya. Now, what is the Swadhyaya? What do we get out of Swadhyaya? Swadhyayat इष्टदेवता संप्रयोगः देवा ऋषया सिद्धाश्च स्वाध्यायशीलस्य दर्शनं गच्छन्ति कार्ये च अस्य वर्तन्ते इति. So this is one very important thing. If you are not knowing, please note. As per the here, when a seeker is practicing dhyanabhyas early morning, Brahma Muhurta, or at night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that is the time all the Siddha Purushas, they are moving in this whole world. And when they see that here is the seeker who is putting forward all sincere efforts, then they definitely help him grow in his spiritual practice. Therefore, see, like my friend in Badrinath, he used to tell me, Swamiji, sometime he is only dhyana yogi. He spends only sadhana, he is in dhyan, that's it, nothing else. Rest of the time he is managing the hotel kind of thing. So he says, every now and then, Swamiji, yesterday when I was sitting for meditation, I could clearly see the Sundaradas Baba. He came, he blessed me, and he went. And it is so clear that as much clear I am seeing you, that happened. So when we have this is not dream. Dream comes when you are in a sleepy mood, but you have not slept, then the dreams come. But the vision of the divine master Siddha Purushas, that happens when you are on the seat of meditation or you are in a contemplative state. Therefore, Devaha, Devatagadaha, the various gods, Rishayaha, Mantradrishtaraha, Vashishtadyaha. This is how we know in the life of many Mahatmas this thing happened. 1 or 2 examples I will give you. This Madhusudan Saraswati ji, who was contemporary of Tulsidas ji Maharaj in Varanasi, that was the time when many great saints were simultaneously available in India. That was the time when our Mirabai was there also. So this Madhusudan Saraswati ji, he was a great Vedantic scholar. His books are extremely beautiful, like Chitsukhi, etc. Very difficult and very deep investigation into Vedanta Shastra. He has written commentary also on Bhagavad Gita, etc. Now, he was once sitting somewhere or standing, and one Avdhut came, and he said, "Hey, get up from here." So Madhusudan Saraswati separated. He went and sat on his seat. And he said by his name, "You tell me now, I'll ask you something. When you are able to defeat somebody in the arguments on the foundation of your scriptural knowledge, do you feel good?" Yes. And if somebody defeats you, do you feel bad? Yes. Then you have achieved nothing in life. See? He said, throw this all away. Focus attention on this. How important. Who can come and tell this thing? Only the Siddha Purushas. Therefore, Swadhyaya, never underestimate your study of scriptures. Many times we have this funny notion. No. When we are studying and doing our yoga sadhana and doing our japa, pranava, or whatever name of the Lord you are taking, as the process of purification goes ahead, then as a result of this, wherever there are some obstacles, Wherever we are going the wrong way, there the great Mahatmas, the Siddha Purushas, the Lord comes in different form, disguise, and guides us. Therefore, Swadhyayat Ishtadevata Samprayogaha. So by this Swadhyaya, Ishtadevata Samprayogaha, Ishtadevatanam Samprayogaha, Samparkaha Darshanadi, because Samprayogo Darshanam iti. So by this, one is able to come in the close proximity with these great Mahatmas, and one is able to be very blessed to have their darshan, their vision. And second, karechasya vartante iti. And then they will help him. Asya karya vartante. He, the seeker who is practicing, so to him they will come and guide. In this manner, the Swadhyaya, which includes three things. One is study of scriptures. Second is japa sadhana, yajnanam japa yajnosmi. And the third one is the observing the quality of the mind and correcting accordingly. Very important. As much, before leaving the room, we want to go and stand before the mirror and see whether our makeup is good or not. Like, our makeup is incomplete unless we wear a smile and go out. Very important. So, Swadhyaya means observing the moods, the quality of our mind. When this is sincerely practiced, then as a result, you will get guidance and directions from within as well as without. This is the importance of Swadhyaya. There are many people who say the secret is this. If you read, you also must have, you heard from me Bhagavad Gita, some chapters twice, thrice, when I took for the students in Hindi and all that, and here also. So every time that you have heard, your understanding has been growing. It is not the same thing. And it is not that I am telling you something great, no. Your capability is increasing day by day. And that is what is called as Ishtadevata Samprayogaha. Our ability grows, and that is the grace of the Lord. And then the next was the Ishvara Pranidhana, what it is we get as a result of this practice, we'll see in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.